If you're a big swim team and you like to order a lot of gear, maybe you ought to check out Swim Outlet Team Division for these reasons. Swim teams receive a 10% discount on bulk orders. Swim teams or organizations get an 8% commission on referred sales. You'll also like their customization services, which is affordable and available at all times during the year for all team gear. With over 50,000 items in stock, you can get most anything you want. Swim Outlet Team Division. You need to try it out. You'll be glad you did.
This is the Morning Swim Show for Thursday, May 16th, 2013. I'm your host, Jeff Cummings. The USA Swimming Open Water Nationals begins tomorrow in Southern California with a couple hundred of the country's best ultra-distance swimmers lining up on the shore of Castaic Lake. 3 of those swimmers will be representing the U.S. Naval Academy in the 10K and 5K swims, and 2 of them, Riley Mita and Noah Martin, join us now in the Finis Monitor from Santa Clarita, California. Guys, good to see you. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Well, it's going to be a pretty big race. I should mention before we get going with this interview that your teammate Alex Nickel was unable to join us. He's going to be arriving there a little bit shortly, but it's good to have you two on. Riley, I understand this is essentially going to be held in your backyard at Castaic Lake. Must be a nice thing to know that you get to sleep in your own bed.
Yeah, I mean, it is really nice. I grew up in the lake, you know, swimming in and everything, and my club team's hosting it, so it's pretty comforting knowing it's here.
And your dad's the meet director.
Yeah, he is.
So this is all around. You've got all the I guess you could say you've got all the advantage here, maybe.
Yeah, I really can't complain.
So Noah, I would say stick with him. He knows the lake backwards and forwards, all the little nice little spots. Maybe if there's a little bit of a advantage, I guess Riley could give you all the little secrets.
Definitely, that's the plan.
So Riley, tell us what makes Castaic Lake a good place to hold an open water event.
I mean, for the first, it's in California. The weather's always nice. It's a great location. The lake is awesome. I swam in a couple different places, and the fact that it's in a lake, minimal waves and stuff like that really helps make the open water experience a lot better and everything. And it's a pretty beautiful place as well. So really can't complain with how the whole setup is and everything. It looks great, by the way.
How long have the two of you been doing open water races?
Well, this is my first one. I've never done one before, so
all right.
This will be an interesting experience.
I've done a bunch. I started doing them when I was like 13 or so. I started doing them more so like the miles, the shorter ones. And then I kind of picked it up and did a 5K or 2. And then 2 years ago, I did Open Water Nationals, did my first 10K and 5K, which was quite the experience.
And Noah, you grew up in Phoenix. I guess you've never really had the opportunity to really grow up like Riley did with lakes and open water and the beach and the ocean around you. So what do you think about what's going to happen this weekend with the 10K and the 5K?
Really, I don't know what to expect. I'm just going to kind of get in and swim it. I mean, I've swam lots of miles before, but this will be something new. I'm really excited to get in and do it, and I guess it'll be a good experience for me and be a good way of getting Navy's name out there a little bit more for open water swimming.
Have you guys been able to do any kind of open water swimming at the Naval Academy in preparation for any of this?
Unfortunately, we haven't. We wish, we're right on the Severn River and the Chesapeake Bay. It is a little bit pretty cold out there, so we haven't really been able to swim in the open water at the Naval Academy.
Well, from what I understand from speaking to a lot of open water swimmers, that they don't do a lot of open water swimming themselves. It's all pool swimming, so it's just kind of ramping up the amount of yards and meters you swim. So yeah. Have you guys been able to do that to kind of just really crank up on the yards?
Yeah, I've been trying to hit maybe like a little over 8,000 over the past couple of weeks every day. That's basically just getting that yardage, getting those feels for the swims, doing a 2,000 here, 2,000 there, a couple 500s, just getting used to swimming those long distances.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's really no other thing to do for open water except just a ton of yardage, some fast stuff in the beginning, some fast stuff at the end to kind of facilitate how the race is going to go. I know one day at practice we took all the lane lines out and swam in a giant square around the pool, and that was for like an hour. So that was might have been the most interesting thing we've done.
Well, that is pretty interesting. And I guess there's also the physical aspect of open water swimming. You're going to have in these races like 50, 60 people around you, and having never done this before, it might be a little bit out of your comfort zone. But Riley, have you given them any tips on what to expect in these kind of situations?
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal. Like, there's no doubt about it. You gotta be aggressive. I mean, elbows get thrown, people get like punched and stuff. But I mean, you got to keep swimming. That's just how it is.
Riley, tell me what you like most about open water swimming.
I think it really like grew on me. The fact that it's not it's not the same thing as swimming in a pool. It's not like going up and down a black line all day. It's more of it's kind of like a game. And swimming, I mean, competing everything is what everyone loves as a swimmer. I love racing. There's no doubt about that. But then having the strategy aspect in open water, and it's kind of like treating it as like a game in a way. It makes it a little more interesting, and it's just I don't know. It's really fun and a huge adrenaline rush, to say the least.
Now, I've never done a 10K swim before, but I imagine it's very mentally and physically grueling. And then after you finish this on Friday morning, you guys got to get up on Sunday morning and do a 5K. So what is going to be the key for you to get yourself mentally and physically recovered to do another long swim?
I just think like the proper recovery, eating properly, making sure we stay hydrated, getting the proper amount of rest. And that 5K will go by a lot faster than the 10K. So I think even though it's still a pretty long race, it'll seem a lot quicker, and I think it'd be more enjoyable as well.
I'm gonna drink a lot of chocolate milk, so hopefully that helps.
Yeah, it's a great drink to have around on these recovery days. Riley, last time we talked to you a couple of years ago, before you had decided to go out to the Naval Academy, you said you were going to be a fighter pilot. Is that still what you're on track to do?
Yeah, I still do want to be a pilot. I got 2 more years, and if everything goes right, that's still my goal at the Academy.
And give us an idea of how your sophomore year went for you, not just in the pool, but out of it as well.
It's pretty. The school itself it's a great place. It's very prestigious and everything. It is tough swimming, balancing your life between swimming, the military aspect, as well as the academics, which are very difficult. And in the pool, I think my year went really well. It was I kind of thrive more so in the shorter distance events instead of like the mile this year. But academically, I had a pretty big load of classes which I had to deal with, which I think I handled pretty well at the end of the year. So I really can't be disappointed, and I think from here on out it's going to get even better.
And Noah, you just wrapped up your plebe year at the Naval Academy. From what I've read, it's pretty much one of the toughest, most demanding things anybody can ever go through. So tell me what that experience was like.
Yeah, it was tough. It was really something different, adjusting to the sleep schedule, the military demands, the academic demands, the demands of college swimming. It was something different, to say the least. My times weren't quite where I wanted them to be, but take into account the rigors that we had to go through during plebe year, I think I'm still doing pretty well, and I think I'll have some good drops next year, and I'm excited for it. But it was definitely very tough.
Yeah, everybody who goes to college and swimming always says freshman year is tough to get adjusted to, but I think it's much more difficult to go through the Naval Academy. Just all that stuff that you have to do in addition to your school and your swimming. So just congratulations to both of you for getting through that and continuing to excel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Riley, because you are in a higher class than him, does he have to call you sir all the time?
He actually did have to call me sir this year. That's not really my thing. The professionalism is it's a very serious thing at the school. But around the pool and stuff, we're teammates, so everyone's equal around the pool. We don't really. That's not really our big thing there.
Well, Noah, now you'll have some people calling you sir in a few months.
Yeah, that'll be a little bit of a change. So I'm excited for it.
Well, tell us what the outlook is like for the Navy swim team this coming fall. You got some good recruits coming in?
Yeah, actually we do. We have some good guys. We always bring in a pretty good amount of distance guys and brush hookers. We gotta have some. We have a thing for both of those guys, and as well as we have one or two backstrokers coming in, and then I think a couple flyers too. And also, I know everyone knows about Young Tae, who will be going to prep school for a year. So that'll be really exciting in 2 years when he gets to come, as well as Michael Noonan, who is he should be coming in this year as well. So pretty excited about this year. I think it's going to be one of our better years than we have had in the past. So I think between us, the rest of the team, and our coaches, we're all really looking forward to it. We also have a new assistant coach coming in this year, the Mike Lashinsky from American. So it'll be a pretty good setup.
Well, it is very exciting. And in terms of your summers, I would imagine you guys got some big meets planned for the end of the season.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
What are you guys? What's going to be besides obviously this weekend? What's going to be the big meet for you guys?
I think for both of us, it's U.S. Open.
Yep.
Okay, well that's always going to be an exciting meet. Not too far away from your home, Riley. So probably have some relatives coming out cheering for you.
Yeah, definitely. Our summers are pretty difficult. Besides swimming, we have a bunch of Navy type training stuff, so we have to kind of work around that. We do that, but we also have to incorporate swimming as well, and as best as we can.
Well, no rest for anybody at the Naval Academy, but again, you guys managed to fit it in, and congratulations on all that, and good luck this weekend. I'm sure it's going to be a fun experience, and like Riley, you'll be looking back on this 10 years from now and be like, I'm glad I did it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Riley Mita and Noah Martin joining us in the Finis Monitor on the eve of the USA Swimming Open Water National Championships. Swimming World will be partnering with our open water correspondent Steve Munatonis and Open Water Source to bring you coverage of the competition on swimmingworld.com. That's going to do it for today's edition of the Morning Swim Show. I'm Jeff Cummings. Thanks for watching.